Hello everyone and welcome to Caroline's Craftery. Today we are doing a slow stitch Sunday and we are working on our cover. As you can see, I've got all this all stitched down and all the beads, and I love how that turned out. Love, 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 love. Love that. Today, just kind of a simple beading to it. I had this little strip of this mesh type stuff. It was from the edge of a piece of bling, actually, that you would stitch down. And I saved that piece, so I put a little bit of glue and I put along there, and I'm just going to start my thread down at the end here. And I've got a knot, and I just do a little loop-de-doo. It doesn't matter to me what the bottom looks like. And I'm going to come up right in the middle at the end there. Now I got these little tiny bugle beads. There's two different greens in there, so I'm going to take a dark one, hopefully you can see, and a light one. Just going to take two at a time to start with. I'm going to lay them down and I'm just going to stitch them. Really, I'm going to do a row down the middle of this. Now, maybe it's overkill, but I like to go through them twice. Let's just move. When I do this type of stuff, I'm always, always, always turning my work to make it easier for me to do my stitching. And then I'm going to come up in between them and go down, and I'm just going to catch my thread, and that's going to hold that down. Now, as I've said a number of times, I am not a beater. I don't really know what I'm doing. I just do the best I can, and I hope that it turns out. And really all that I'm wanting to do is make sure these are stitched down and secure. Really, that's the whole idea of this. It's not hard. It is a little time consuming, yes, but I find it relaxing. And that is the main thing for me. And it should for you too. You should find this type of stuff relaxing. Or whatever craft you do. I do like to change things up. So I usually have like some crocheting on the go. I like to have like a journal or ephemera on the go, as well as maybe some hand stitching like this, whether it's on paper or on fabric. I've really enjoyed doing these slow stitch covers, but I do need to start using them in a journal. I need to, make some into journals and get them into the hands of people that will love them. So I'm just going to keep going here. I thought I'd do a little bit of this with you on camera. Slow stitch is one of those things. It's kind of hard to show from start to finish because, you'd watch me do the same thing over and over again. Like this, for instance, that took a few hours to do, I will say. But it was a nice 2 hours. I plugged in some YouTube and just stitched away. And that's what I like to do for many of the things like this. And I hope that you will like and subscribe and share all that stuff, and as well as check out the links in the description. And right now there's not a lot of videos under the Slow Stitch Sunday. Kim Newberg does some, and her channel is always linked below. If you do beading like this or other kind of slow stitching, when it comes to fastening something on, such as these beads, do you go through them twice? Do you worry about that? Do you think once is enough? I just like mine to be really secure, and for the extra length of time that it takes, I think it's worth the time. A lot of people don't slow stitch. I know it would be hard for people who have arthritis in their hands or something like that. And some people just don't have the patience for something like this. And I don't think, well, I know I wouldn't do it if I didn't find it relaxing. That is for sure. But when I'm just sitting at my desk doing this, I don't really have to think about it. I just sit there and do it and carry on. And when I'm done, I move on to the next thing. But I'm just going to keep going and going with this here until I reach the end. And when I first put this little mesh thing, I was going to do a little seed bead in between, like in each of the holes, which would have been a great idea as well. I also thought about doing like just a French knot in there, which is another great idea. And then I thought, I've got this little bag of sorted bugle beads, and I thought, well, let's use up a few of them by putting them along here. Now like I say, I move my work around a lot. I'm sure other people do that do the stitching, because it's however easy as it is for me to get the right angle on the stitches or stuff like that there. I sit differently when I'm doing it on camera, because of course got to keep it all in camera. So normally if I'm at my desk, I would have this a lot closer to me. Okay, so there is that. Now I'm going to keep going all the way to the end. If I don't have enough of the beads out, I'll just pull out some more. That's going to give it a nice, shiny little line in there. And then, of course, once it's folded, you're going to get just a tiny little bit there. Most of that will actually be on the back. It is intended that this will be in the front. So I'm going to finish this off camera. And then when we do the next stage, you can see the finished line of those bugle beads along on that. But I'm just going to keep going right till I hit the very end of that. Well, alternating between the dark and the light, which you might not even see on the camera, but there is 2 different colors in there. So that's my slow stitch Sunday for today, and we'll see you again very soon. Check out all the links. Thanks for being here, and we'll see you again soon. Bye.